City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. The Inner City Focus Group is calling on CBD business owners to join in during the Scrub Rotorua Day. Te Puia are celebrating their 50th birthday with a Sweet Inspiration concert, and hype builds for the National Sevens competition being held here in January. The Inner City Focus Group is calling on CBD business owners to join in on the Scrub Rotorua Inner City Day. Deputy Mayor Dave Donaldson says the council is also supporting the call for CBD business owners to have a look at the frontages and assess what could be done to refresh their look. He says he'll be out on the day to support the initiative.
I will, and even my wife's volunteered to pitch in and give a hand. We're just looking for the appropriate thing to scrub up in terms of council facilities, because generally they're kept pretty well maintained. But yeah.
And what would you like to encourage the public to do on Scrub Rotorua Day?
Well, I think everyone pitch in. It's really aimed at scrubbing up the inner city and making it a more welcoming environment. And anyone that wants to come down with a brush and a pail and a scrubbing brush.
Scrub Rotorua Day is on Saturday the 23rd of November. Te Whakarewa Valley will be alive with the sound of music this month as traditional show band performers and some of New Zealand's latest pop artists come together on one stage in a spectacular show band style concert. Te Puia, New Zealand's Māori Arts and Crafts Institute, is celebrating the 50th anniversary of its establishment with a series of major events in November and December, including the Show Bands in the Park concert on Saturday, November the 30th. The two-part program called Sweet Inspiration features performances from some of New Zealand's up-and-coming young stars, such as boy band Titanium and young female artist Rhea Hall. The Sweet Inspiration concert is on Saturday, November the 30th, with gates opening at 6 p.m. And yes, Titanium will be available for signing autographs at the event. And we have more on Te Puia's celebrations in the show tonight with a feature on the Movies in the Park event. After 16 years at the helm of Rotorua Girls High School, Principal Annette Joyce is retiring and looking forward to spending time with family and especially her grandchildren. In her City News interview, she said it has been humbling to help affect change in young women's lives through education. She said during her time at the school, she's seen lives turned around.
You know, the biggest things for me have been seeing girls come into this office who've, for whatever reason, they've gone down the wrong track and they're not in a very good position. And often they come in thinking that they're going to be excluded from the school. And it doesn't always happen, but when you can have a really good conversation with young people, a young girl and her parents, and in the end we all understand where we're at, and that young woman wants to stay at school, wants to achieve, wants to put things right and then do well. For me, that's what it's all about. And every year I look at my prefects, my amazing young women who are just so empowered and so amazing, and always I can look at them and think, yeah, I know some of you were in my office in different situations in your younger days at school, and to see them come through. And so I think really in terms of what's happened in this office, for me, it's been about creating situations and opportunities where young women can stay in school and can do well.
In sport tonight, organisers of the 2014 National Rugby Sevens are urging locals to get behind the family-friendly Sevens Festival. The Sevens are being held at the Rotorua International Stadium on January the 11th and 12th. Speaking at last week's National Sevens launch at the Holiday Inn, Coach Jordan Tetchin said preparations were well underway for the hosting of the 26 teams in the tournament. Bay of Plenty Rugby Union Chief Executive Mike Rogers also spoke at the launch, encouraging locals to get involved in what the union hopes will become an iconic event for the city. Tickets go on sale in 2 weeks. To your weather update now, Rotorua. Tonight will be fine with gusty southeasterlies and an overnight low of 7. Tomorrow, Wednesday, fine with light winds, a high of 17 and a low of 6. And looking out to Thursday, fine with light winds, a high of 19 and a low of 5. In the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, southerly rising to 15 knots in the morning and then easing to 10 knots at night with waves less than half a metre, and it looks fine. Still to come tonight on City News, we're at Tapuia with a group of young people learning the art of vining. Alan Solomon also talks with Eru West about the upcoming movies in the Para Night, and we visit the museum to find out about a new gifted kids exhibition.
Righty, Sarah, these things look pretty interesting. Tell me, what exactly do they represent?
These represent the green cells inside flax or harakeke. These are lysolus, fraggy, really not that strong because they aren't really tight. And like muka fibres, they're really strong. That's why you'll be able to take them out of flax. That's why they're really tough. They're also tough, but they're not like a completely different part of it.
So
they're just supporting whatever flax is.
So this artwork that you've been involved in, actually you've been learning about the science behind it as well.
Yes.
Yeah? Pretty exciting?
Yes. I've learnt the name of flax in Latin, which is Phorium tenax. I've learnt why it's so strong. I've learned a whole heap of things that relate to flax. These represent the muka fibres inside flax. They're really strong because the cells inside the muka are really tightly packed, so that's why they're really tough. But it's best not to pull on them.
All right, Rizzy, looks like you're a bit of a Bob the Builder. What are you constructing down here?
We're just making small stools out of different coloured tops with lots of Allen key screws, and we put 4 of these on and screw them in, as you can see we're doing here.
And there's quite a few here. How many have you made?
Roughly about
a few.
Yeah, quite a few. The whole class has made, I think, about 14 we've made.
And how have you enjoyed being on the Gifted Kids program?
Very good. It's very exciting. I've been here for 4 years. It has changed my life quite a bit. It's made my talents even better.
Cool.
It's quite an exciting thing to do.
Okay, so I did tartan was my pattern, and I was looking at the visual patterns in tartan and the weaving and how you get the squares and stripes and the overlapping and things. So one of the most amazing things we found was that everyone heard of the clan tartans, and everyone thought they were from the very beginning, but they didn't come around till the 1800s, and then people started saying this is my tartan, and then you get the Macintosh and the Royal Stewart. But I really looked at the overlapping, where the yellow overlaps yellow and you get yellow, and the weaving. And so I've got an activity of actually trying to weave tartan itself.
Wow, so how long did that take you, Alex?
We've been working on it for like a term and a half, and at the start we kind of just got basic information to sort of help ourselves learn about it, and then we started really looking at the stuff that we actually want in our part of the exhibit. Yeah.
This is the pink and white model of the pink and white terraces that the museum has made for us for our exhibition.
Yeah, so obviously the inspiration is the pink and white terraces. So you guys pretty happy with the end result? Because it looks pretty comfy.
Yeah. I like it because it's all poof, smushy. Yeah.
Now obviously we can't sit on it because it's still on wheels. But are you guys you've been enjoying the Gifted Kids program?
Yeah.
Well, joining me now is Sue Buffton, who's in charge of all these Gifted Kids. Thanks for joining us today, Sue.
No worries.
Now, where did all the inspiration come to get these kids down here and creating all these various objects and amazing looking things?
Well, Emma Liley, who is the education officer here at Rotorua Museum, was reading in a magazine about a project like this that was done in the UK, and she thought we could do that here. So she contacted me and said, would your kids like to be part of this project? And I said, absolutely.
Wow.
It's too good of an opportunity to pass up.
Now, when we talk about gifted kids, what do you mean gifted?
Gifted, they are intellectually and creatively gifted, so clever kids need a bit more of an extra challenge than what they sometimes get at school.
And were they selected by their students, or did their parents put them up to this?
Their schools usually select them, but parents can refer as well.
So how did these kids get selected to be on the program, Sue?
Usually they're referred by their school, so a teacher will pick up on the fact that they're just a little bit, think a bit differently than the other kids. Sometimes parents can refer them as well, but usually it's the school.
Now, we've had a good look around. These guys are really creative. They're doing some amazing work. Maybe a bit beyond what I understand when it comes to things like art, but they're pretty good, aren't they?
Well, a lot of it's quite scientific and mathematical, actually. Yeah, so it's all based on patterns. They've all chosen an object from the Rotorua Museum collection and then explored the patterns within that object, and their station is all about the patterns.
Are these guys going to have the opportunity to show their works off to mums and dads?
Well, this particular exhibition is going to be open to the public for 3 months, so they'll have time to bring all sorts of visitors in.
So they're going to be adding, because obviously you're just in the starting stages now, so you're going to obviously have more things to show.
Well, actually, all the hard work by us has been done. So all the research, all the text panels are written. This is just the installation process now of building the structures and stringing stuff up and putting objects into cases. So for us anyway, all the hard work is done. Yeah.
What's the response been like from the kids? Because they look pretty enthused, don't they?
They have been very excited about the whole thing. Some of it has been quite hard work, and we've had deadlines to meet, which is really quite different for them. But throughout the whole thing, they've been excited about getting to this stage where the exhibition is in the gallery and they can see all their ideas coming to life around them in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, that must be a real buzz for them.
Are
these guys all from one school, or are they from throughout the region?
They're from 13 different schools right throughout Rotorua and the district.
Yeah,
yes.
Exciting stuff, right? Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
We're down at Rotorua today, and this weekend is the 50th anniversary, and part of the celebrations is that they've got a filmmaker in to teach some local school kids on how to make vines and how to post them onto Facebook. So stay with us, we've got a great story for you. Well, joining me now is filmmaker Mike Jonathan. Thanks for joining us today, Mike. Now, how did you get involved or roped into teaching these kids how to use vines?
Oh, I was, what do you call it? What's that word?
Volunteer?
No, it was scammed into. No, I'm just joking. No, there's just a good initiative. Kind of come up with 50 years of Te Puia and New Zealand Meki, and so I got a phone call from Kitty just to say, hey, you want to run a workshop for some kids, kind of teach them about history, and it was supposed to be like a full-on workshop. But I kind of went, oh, well, the modern thing is these days is vines, and kids love vines. And if you don't know what a vine is, it's like a 7-second video with, edited bits and pieces, and they're hilarious and they're funny, and they're all over Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, so basically it's just made for social media, just to share people's ideas and ambitions and dreams and just anything funny, really.
Yeah, and it's a modern way of filmmaking these days. Even though it's 7 seconds, you can get a lot out of 7 seconds, and so it becomes good exercise for me.
So what's the reaction like being with the kids when they've been in that little auditorium?
The reaction from the kids, a little bit confused this morning. They kind of got in there, and I was like, oh, do you guys know what a vine is? And they were like, yeah. Okay, you're going to make vines today. Oh, okay. And so it's just educating them, giving them the tools, and then in the afternoon we'll give them some time to go out there and see what they got.
Have they got any idea of theme that they've got to shoot or anything like that, or any subject?
Yeah. Well, Edward West, who works here at Te Puia, and Kitty, they come up with themes, 10 themes in fact, all about the valley, about Te Puia and its history, the guides, and the kids are to do, to follow those themes and bring them back and see what they come up with.
Now, you're going to pick 1 or 2 that are going to be the best vines?
Yeah. I mean, the most creative. I mean, it's not all about the shot these days. It's all about how funny it is and how entertaining. And there's some pretty mischief kids out there.
Now, obviously, you've got quite a wide range of kids here. How many have you got?
We've got 35 kids from different intermediate schools around Rotorua.
So at the end of the day, Mike, once the kids have got all the vines edited and made and put onto Facebook or YouTube, what's going to happen then? What's the outlook you're looking for, the outcome?
The outcome that I'm looking for is that the kids get to experience what the vines are and get to make some creative vines as well. They'll be featured at Films in the Park, which is coming up. And so, and the public will get to see them together with archives plus short films. So it's a really good initiative, and the kids get to, they get the most of the benefit.
Yeah, that's a great experience for these kids. And we're going to have a chance to catch up with a couple of them, so stay with us and we'll have a chat with these kids. Well, with me now is TK and Anae. Hey guys, how are you going?
Good, thank you.
Now, what school are you guys from?
I'm from Rotorua Intermediate.
And TK?
I'm from Ringo, from down Auckland Falls.
Wow. Now, how did you guys get involved in making these vines?
Well, my deputy principal came up to me when I was in class and asked me if I'd like to participate in this because I have an interest in video making because I really love it. It's so cool.
So you think it might be a future career for you?
Yeah, I think so.
How about you, TK? How did you get into this?
A nice teacher right here, Mike. He just taught me how to use the vines today, and I just loved it, and I think I might do it in the future too.
Yeah. So what's the biggest thing or the most important thing you've learnt today?
How to make a video that I've never done before.
Now, after you guys had your lunch, you've got to go out and make your own video. So have you got an idea what you're going to make?
Yep. I'm going to make one about me and the mud pools. Or not in it, but like boy.
Yeah, I don't think you want to get in those mud pools, TK. How about you, Anae?
I think we've done a couple, but I think we're going to focus on the guides and the geysers, which I think is really cool.
Is there a theme that you have to focus on?
There's quite a lot of them, like Kiwi history, hot pools, tribe boundaries and borderline, something like that, so it's really cool.
And TK, once you've finished making your vine, what are you going to do with it?
Mike is going to upload them onto the internet, and then we're practically going to be watching them.
Yeah, so do you think you guys will be good enough to win Oscars or Emmy Awards?
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we're still here at Te Puhi, and we're continuing on with our story about the 50th celebrations and the kids out here making vines. And with me today is Edu West, the spokesperson for Te Puhi. Thanks for joining us today, Edu.
No pleasure.
Now, what's the idea about getting these kids in here? Obviously, with Mike Jonathan making these vines. What was the idea behind it, and why is Te Puhi doing it?
Well, the whole idea is we're coming up 50 years celebrating of the New Zealand Māori Arts and Crafts Institute Act. So we've been preserving the culture of carving and weaving and culture in general. So we've branched out that idea for 50 years now. And this celebrations is a look back to the past, but also we want to look to the next 50 years and see what our children or what the coming up children have as a point of view for the future. Really.
So what's the relationship between Te Puhi and NZ Maki?
So Te Puhi is the culture. It's complicated, really. So Te Puhi is the tourism side, and we take care of the tourism. We have the geothermal valley, we have the kiwi bird, we have NZ Maki as one of those things that people can come and see as tourists. NZ Maki is focused solely on preserving the culture, so they uphold that act, and we fund that through all the tourists coming through. We're a non-profit organisation, so every cent made is used to preserve that culture in NZ Maki.
Now, in our previous story, we talked with Mike Jonathan, who's with the kids now all around Te Puhi here making the vines. What involvement have you had with these kids? Because I've seen you up in the auditorium speaking to them. So what was your involvement?
We kind of came up with the idea just to get them in. So the team really came up with the idea to get them in and get their perspective. So I've been just organising the schools, getting a hold of them all. We've got 8 schools in total, and 10 groups from there. And they're just going around their little groups, focusing on those little themes we've given them. And as part of my role as marketing coordinator, just been getting some of those themes we want them to bring through, and seeing what they have to come up with is really intriguing for us.
Are you pretty happy with the response from the kids? Because we've been around Te Puri and filmed a couple of them,
Yeah.
you know, making and creating their videos, and they're pretty enthusiastic, aren't they?
They really are. The one group sat for 45-50 minutes just brainstorming what they wanted to do. So they're really keen to be here, and it was really humbling to see them so excited when we gave them this opportunity to get out of school, but also to, you know, get involved in this and to have it shown. All their vines are going to be shown at the Movies in the Park event on the 16th, so that's going to be really cool to get them here and to get them on the big screen.
Let's talk about that, the Movies at the Park. What's that all about?
So that's a mixture of looking back and looking forward. So we've got a lot of short films playing, some archive footage of the old guides and of the valley, and then we've also mixing with it is these vines these kids are making today.
So it's going to be quite a nostalgic evening, isn't it? Really?
It really is. And we've got food stalls, we've got a nice setup for all our pakeke, or our elders, and it's going to be a really nice event.
Yeah, wow. Now, just having a look around here, there's tourists from all around the world. So you guys must be pretty happy at the moment because we're coming into our busy season, into summer.
Yeah.
You guys must be pretty happy. You guys, look, you can't say it's full because Te Puri is so big, but there's plenty of tourists here today.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is picking up into summer as always, and summer's always really busy. And leading up into it with these 50-year events has been really hectic, really hard to put together, but it's going to be really worth it.
Now, like we said, the 50 celebrations are this weekend. Is there anything else that Te Puri are going to be doing to help with the birthday celebrations?
Yeah, so we've got 3 events in total. So this weekend, the 16th, is Movies in the Park. And then on the 30th of November, we've got a show bands in the park. We've got Rhea Hall coming, Howie Morrison and his trio. And we've also got Titanium, the headline event for that.
Wow, so that's some big multi acts.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to them showing some nostalgia, like you said. Looking back at the past, but then also in the future. And then our last event is Christmas in the Park, and that's on the 14th of December. And that's going to be a charity event, so all the money raised from that is going towards a good charity.
Have you got an idea who that charity is?
Not just yet. I'll get back to you on that.
Now, like you said, there are going to be huge celebrations this weekend and continue on for the month. How much does it cost for not only tourists but for locals to come, or is that a free if you're a local?
It's a mixture of things. So we've set it out the ticketing format to be an elder and a child. It's complicated. So look at Ticketmaster.
Yep.
Ticketmaster, you just look up Movies in the Park, show bands in the park, and those are the ticketed events. The last one, Christmas in the Park, on the 14th, is all through Te Puri.
Cool. Just coming back to the vines you do, once the kids have made all their videos and they're putting them on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, do you get to be one of the judges along with Mike?
Yeah, so I'm collecting it for the team, and we're going to set it all up, a little preview night for us, and we'll, along with, I think Te Morrison might be involved in the judging of it, and we're going to pick out the winners. We've got some really cool prizes too. I won't let them slip just yet. Hope it'll be a surprise, but it'll be really cool. They really deserve it. They're going and doing some amazing work here.
Yeah, especially out here in the rain. Now, final question. Is this something that you think Te Puri will carry on into the future and do this again?
Yeah, definitely. We love having everyone here. We've actually opened out our whānau card, which is a whānau card for Rotorua residents, as free membership when they bring in their proof of address.
Yeah.
So we really want our domestic, our whānau really, to come in to share this place with their visitors and to really enjoy it, because we've got a lot to see, and most people sadly don't come and see their backyard. So we're really trying to change that, trying to get as much people in as we can.
Cool, appreciate your time, thank you.
Pleasure, thanks.
That was Te Pui's Edu West talking with Alan Solomon. If your organisation or community group has a news event that we can support, give the station a call on 07 34 88 984, or you can email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. And if you missed anything in tonight's show, you can also watch it again online on tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, Pomaria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.